Hi, it's Marty, and welcome to Rejuvenate Your Life. I want to share with you a quick story of something that I learned many years ago when I went to Africa, and it might be something that you and your family might want to try out now. So, when I went to Africa, I was in Kenya, and I was in the Masai Mara and working on building a school, and we also had time for a cultural exchange with some of the community leaders. So one of the people we met was a woman named Mama Jane. And I loved Mama Jane because she was a community leader. And just to give you an idea of who she is, this amazing woman was just thrilled that her girls were able to go to school and get an education. And she used to carry 75 pounds of water on her head 5 times a day. And she was thrilled to be able to do that because her girls could go to school. And so it was a sacrifice that she was willing to make. Anyway, she was one of the community leaders. And one of the things that we learned from Mama Jane was that rural Kenya is a group society. They do things that are in the best interest of the group. And Mama Jane now, at the time that I met her, had about 600 families in her community that she helped lead. And they had a number of different things. They had like uh, their own co-op, I guess that's the best way to describe it, where they had their own banking system because the Bank of Kenya charged 30% interest. So when they made loans and things like that, they would make the loans based on what was best for the community. They also had a market where people, they would bring their produce or their crafts to the market, and then they would share in the profits. So they were a group society, and they made decisions that were based on the good of the whole. And so we were asking her about, well, how do you do that? I mean, how do you, for 600 families, how do you make decisions that are in the best interest of the whole? And what happens when people get positional or want their own way? And I remember I was with a group of about 18 people. And I remember Mama Jane saying to us, well, we just keep talking. And we were like, no, really, what do you do when people get positional, they're obstinate, they're stubborn, they want their own way? And she just looked at us and she said, we keep on talking. And it was like we couldn't understand what she was saying, and she couldn't understand why we couldn't understand, which was really amazing. So what we realized, two things. One is that what they talked about when she said we keep on talking, that what they talk about is the vision for the future and how important it was for their community. They always kept the vision out in front, and that was something that everybody agreed upon. And then she said we have the blessing stick, which this is a blessing stick. And you might have seen it in previous videos. I have it on my thing behind me. Anyway, this blessing stick, she said the group leader holds the blessing stick, and that would be the guru of the community. And she said if somebody is really obstinate or stubborn and wanting their own way, the group leader passes the blessing stick to the person, and that person has to hold the stick until they can get their head around doing what's in the best interest of the whole. Wow. And she said that's all they had to do was pass the blessing stick, and then that person had to hold it and contemplate and reflect on what's in the best interest of the whole. So I've shared this story with lots of different organizations over the years, and everybody seems to think they should have their own blessing stick. In fact, when I worked with one of the regional chapters for the U.S. Tennis Association, there were like 9 or 11 states that were part of this group, and they decided, the leadership team wanted to have a blessing racket, which I thought was great. And they took a racket, a tennis racket, and they put ribbons on it and things like that. And they said, when we get into a meeting, if somebody gets positional or they reach an impasse, they pass the racket to that person. I don't know if they're still doing it, but I thought it was a great story. But the question I have for you is, does your family need a blessing stick or a blessing racket. You know, we're all kind of cooped up right now, and we've got to be making decisions that are in the best interest of the whole. This is the time for collaboration. This is the time for working together and pulling together. So you might want to find something that have a little blessing stick and and also get really clear. What's your vision for the future? Do you have a vision for the future for yourself and your family of how you want to come out on the other side of this experience that is healthy, happy, and just really puts you in a better space than where you were before? And having a little blessing stick might be a way to do that. So let me know if you decide to do this. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll look forward to seeing you again real soon. Bye.